XAM, Abel, King Nazaru, Neo Game Spark, Danny's D-World, Firefish Shikamaru, and 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 many more, many more. Several years later, Payback was and always will be a motherfucking bitch. Spider-Man is and always will be back in the MCU. That means the Amazing Spider-Man film franchise is and forever is no more. This is the intro to several video responses, Amazing Spider-Man video responses relayed to you. Like I said, this was retaliation from Dragon Ball Evolution. If I couldn't have Dragon Ball Reborn, you cannot have the Amazing Spider-Man. And while the other Spider-Man protesters are finished, this protester isn't. Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone who protested, bashed, ranted on, and boycotted this movie and brought it home where it belongs, to the MCU. Thank you for helping me even the score up with this Dragon Ball protest trash and fake ass Spider-Man trash and Sony Amazing Spider-Man film Andrew Garfield trash. I will never stop thanking you. There will be several thank you videos to everyone who made this possible, for showing me that no matter how popular something is, if you're passionate about something and you protested it, if you can make enough noise, if you can be loud enough, you can make some noise and stop this said movie, and we stopped the Amazing Spider-Man and brought him home to Marvel where he belongs. Thank you for that, everyone. Now, like I said, Abel, King Nazaru, Spider-Man coming back. Abel, King Nazaru, Danny's D-World, XAM, Neo Game Spark, Firefish Shikamaru, Spider-Man returning home to the MCU. The Amazing Spider-Man coming home to the MCU and the Amazing Spider-Man films being canceled is my all-time favorite form of vengeance against you, because it exposed you for the dumbass, sheep, and hypocrites you were. You had no business near this movie, let alone supporting and defending it. But like I said, I like raining on Spider-Man the most. That's my favorite form of vengeance against you. But this feud, this war started because of Dragon Ball Evolution, and Naruto. So we will finish with Dragon Ball Evolution and Naruto. So yes, this is the remade intro to several video responses to you, and we're also going to do other franchises like Ninja Turtles, because I got a huge problem with that fan base, which you're part of. Ninja Turtles, the DCU, we're going to defend the DCEU, and we're going to defend Dragon Ball Evolution, and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series again. So with that being said, let's hit my music, and I'm gonna make my great entrance. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm made of. One last time, one last fight against the protesters. To quote Ocean Dub T and Shinhan, this four-eyed cowboy and this Spider-Man protester and Dragon Ball Evolution supporter is going for one last ride. Let's get this started now. Waited forever for this. looking for. Ooh, you can. Yeah. It's time.
Yes! 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 King Nazaru! Abel! It's been a long time, and it's different now. But payback was, and always will be, a motherfucking bitch. Spider-Man has always and will be back in the MCU, and the Amazing Spider-Man film franchise is still no more. This is, of course, this third unexpected Spider-Man media response is based upon the newest movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, the previous movie, Far From Home, and every franchise, everything that's happened since Spider-Man's No Way Home has been released. Yeah. Even though, as always, me protesting and bashing Amazing Spider-Man is retaliation for Dragon Ball Evolution, Green Lantern, and the MCU. This was also, like I said, this was also retaliation for I had a problem with you guys trying to discredit and talk shit about the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man, which earned his place, and talking shit about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, trying to find flaws in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to excuse the monstrosity that was the Amazing Spider-Man films. You can like your shitty ass movies. Shut the hell up and go back in the corner you crawled out of. Never ever, I don't care if it was several years ago, never ever create a scene like that again. Telling us we gotta be fair and support something. When you weren't fair with Dragon Ball Evolution, Green Lantern, and the MCU. MCU doesn't need me to defend them, but I had a huge problem with you guys bashing the Avengers, the MCU, and I saw on your webpage, King Nazaru, you trying to bash the Tom Holland series, calling him Iron Boy. I got a problem with you amazing Sony, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man fans not shutting up, not going back in the holes you caught up, and not learning your lesson, and trying to bash and discredit successful stuff like the Sam Raimi and the MCU, which earned their stripes, earned everything they got, and the Amazing Spider-Man earned nothing. Not only did they not earn anything, they single-handedly killed comic books and killed Spider-Man. So yeah, that's what this is a short video response for. This one won't be long like the other two. So with that being said, yeah, once again, what was all that talk about MCU doing more harm to Spider-Man than the Amazing Spider-Man film franchise did? Yeah, the MCU version didn't follow the comic books either, but these were way better movies than the Amazing Spider-Man films. The Amazing Spider-Man films, not only were they not accurate to the comic books, they were poorly written, poorly directed, poorly acted, and only existed to set up future films and future spin-offs, and so Sony could keep the rights, because they're so creatively bankrupt. And to this day, you pussy-ass, dumbass Sony, Andrew Garfield fans couldn't and refused to see that. But what was all that harm about? MCU would do more harm, and if you come here with that Iron Man Jr. bullshit, Andrew Garfield was Edward Cullen Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne Jr., and also a little bit of Robert Downey Jr. also. Nothing like Peter Parker. Just a try-hard, hipster, edgelord, try-hard, wannabe, hipster, edgelord, cocky show-off. That's what Andrew Garfield was. I like to call him the amazing cringe man and the amazing try-hard man, because everything he was doing and said was just him trying too hard. Everything about him was try-hard, and everything about him was cringe. Everything about him was cringe. There was nothing truly organic until we get to No Way Home. And he, Andrew Garfield, was the sole reason that film sucked. I think if you would have casted a better actor in The Amazing Spider-Man, despite all their flaws, you would have had a much more exciting and much better film if you would cast a better actor for Spider-Man and the other characters. But Spider-Man, especially Spider-Man Peter Parker, an actor who was capable of giving Peter Parker the performance he deserved. Fans like to say, "Oh no, it was Sony and Mark Webb." No, it was all three of them: Sony, Mark Webb, and Andrew Garfield, who fucked up that franchise. And then also, and stop coming here with bullshit like they were underrated, they were underappreciated. They are none of that. They are none of that. They are none of that. No, they are the worst comic book movies of all time, and everything that happened to them, they deserve. This is what happens when you don't respect comic book fans, and when you damn sure don't respect film goers. They thought we would be stupid, like you all were, who went to and supported these movies, knowing how bad they were and knowing they weren't like the comic books. They thought we were dumb and stupid, like you guys were. And if you this video response is aimed at King Nazaru, Abel, and I got a score to settle with 5 to 6 plus Dragon Ball protesters who happen to be Amazing Spider-Man film fans. But this is everyone. If I see you liking, if I see you liking, praising, and defending the Amazing Spider-Mans and talking trash about anyone or any franchise, any franchise like the MCU or Tom Holland or any other franchise to justify the Amazing Spider-Man's film existence, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm going to bully you, I'm going to stalk, and I'm going to hound you, and I'm going to make videos. But until I get to everyone else, I got a bone to pick with these 5 people first. First, King Nazaru and Abel, probably my favorite victims to knock around, especially Abel. So, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man films. Amazing Spider-Man films still suck. Now let's talk about his appearance in No Way Home. The MCU. Oh no, before we get to No Way Home, the MCU. But what was all that about? The MCU would do more harm. MCU twice reached the 1 billion mark. Now, like I said, not only did I want the MCU Spider-Man films to be to replace the Amazing Spider-Man, but I wanted them to bury them. Both of those films, both Far From Home and No Way Home, made over $1 billion, and the first one made close to $1 billion, made $800 million at the box office, more than both of the Amazing Spider-Man's 2012 and 14's times at the box office. They didn't make more than them combined, but had a stronger opening in both of those films when they were at the box office, when they were at the quote-unquote box office. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, like I said, with all that hype, all that fanfare, still couldn't outgross the MCU, still couldn't outgross the Sam Raimi version, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the lowest grossing Spider-Man film of all time, and the only one to receive a rotten score. Yeah, film sucked, dumbass. Yeah, but what was all that hype about MCU? No, MCU and Sam Raimi are the only ones that like Spider-Man. I removed my Sam Raimi bias to give the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 a chance, but I should not have done that. Should never done that. So what if we are biased Sam Raimi, MCU, Tom Holland Spider-Man fans? You were biased Dragon Ball. You were biased Dragon Ball fans. You weren't biased and fair with Dragon Ball Evolution. So I'm not fair with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. And taking Spider-Man 1 and 2 is also retaliation for Dragon Ball Evolution, Green Lantern, the Avengers, and many more franchises I can't think of at the moment. You're not fair with those. I am not fair with the Amazing Spider-Man. like I said, I am not fair with the Amazing Spider-Man. So where was I? Oh yeah. But what was all that they would do more harm to the franchise? They would do more harm to the franchise. Yeah, the MCU, like I said, didn't follow the comic books, but that was so much better. And like I said, and you, Abel, like I've said, this is a video. Also, this part is a video response to you too, Abel. Like I told you with Dragon Ball Evolution, if you can't follow the source material, make something equal to the source material, or do the impossible, do the hard way, and make something better than the source material. Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man, period. Is the greatest Spider-Man, period. When it comes to spectacle, this and the Sam Raimi, which is number 2, Sam Raimi, when it comes to spectacle and realism, are way better than the quote-unquote quote-unquote comic books. And the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is not only the worst comic book movies ever, they're the worst version of Spider-Man, period. I've never seen Spider-Man that boring and that terrible. So yeah, now let's talk about his appearance in No Way Home. The MCU did the impossible. They managed to improve and make the Amazing Spider-Man films good. The Amazing Spider-Man films on their own are terrible, atrocious. Andrew Garfield is the worst Spider-Man and the worst superhero actor of all time. But you put him in a film with Tobey Maguire, Holland, and various other villains, and feature him as less as possible, and actually feature him as less as possible, you can actually have a good movie. That one small appearance completely redeemed Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield still sucks to me, but he was good here because he had the MCU machine behind him. But all it took was a couple of rewrites to correct 2 horrible films. Electro acted more like Electro from the comic books, and looked more like Electro from the comics with the cool yellow, and what's his name? Despite being the same shitty character he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, a lizard who was atrocious in the Amazing Spider-Man was relegated to just a couple of lines. It was just the what's his name. And for those of you who try to give Andrew Garfield's the credit for No Way Home's success, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man on his own failed to outgross both the MCU and Cinema trilogy. Neither one could even touch $1 billion, despite all of the hype. And they use William Dafoe's Goblin. They use Chris Cooper and David DeHaan shitty goblins, the worst goblins ever. They use William Dafoe, the best goblin ever. And it was his villains carrying the show. With Electro and being second and fourth wheel, kind of like how Garfield was the third wheel to Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire. It was Tobey Maguire. His was louder. His appearance was louder. His appearance got a louder reaction from the fans. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man still sucks, boy. And now that you got your closure, shut the hell up and go back in the hole you crawled out of. Well, I talked longer than I wanted to. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Like a million faces, I recognize them all.